Welcome everyone to this live session. So, guys, as usual in Nigeria, is every day a new news or something strange, a new drama, and all that. We know that is just the case for Nigeria. Every day we tend to see something new, something strange, not just being new. When it's new in the positive direction, is even appreciated. But in Nigeria, it's mostly negative things. So I want to highlight some of these latest, happenings around the country that has been on the social media and some websites that you all have to know about. So this is another fresh case for this president. Since Tinubu assumed office as the president of Nigeria, so many Nigerians are not happy with the decision of the Supreme Court, especially the Supreme Court, because we believe that assuming the tribunal made some mistakes, we were thinking that the Supreme Court is in the right position to correct those mistakes. But we ended up seeing the Supreme Court upholding the ruling of the tribunal. And today, the INEC chairman is working freely. He's been praised to have conducted the best election ever in Nigeria by the APC politicians. And we've seen what happened lately in some of the states, the three states that just conducted their elections. We saw how results were written even before the elections voting actually started. So there is this man who has equally brought up this Tinubu's case again and has gone to court challenging Tinubu's position as the president of Nigeria. Peter Obi will always say, if you want to become president, follow the right route. If you want to become an excellency, let the route, let the process that takes you to that position be excellent, so that you don't need to start battling with all this back and forth. That is actually what this president is facing today, because this person has taken him to court. It's like a fresh legal battle in the Supreme Court over 2023 presidential election. But some people are saying that what will you expect from the Supreme Court that has just ruled, in favor of the president? Do you think anything positive or anything different from their stand is going to happen? I thought maybe after the Supreme Court's ruling, that is the final. But when I saw this headline, I was like, is it still possible that somebody, though he's not really challenging his victory, but he's saying that he's not supposed to have been sworn in when he was sworn in? Let me just read some of what we have here from that website. President Bola Tinubu has been dragged before the Supreme Court for allegedly unlawfully presenting himself for inauguration as president, despite a pending legal action against the conduct of the 2023 presidential poll. Citing the doctrine of lispendence, a presidential candidate in the 2019 general election, Chief Albert Ambrose Owuru, is asking the apex court to nullify inauguration that has happened long ago, the inauguration of Tinubu as the winner of the 2023 presidential poll. So this person now is like trying to bring this topic again, fresh in the minds of Nigerians, to show you that so many people are not even happy with this decision of the Supreme Court. In short, if they had been another opportunity to go to a higher court, to appeal the decision of the Supreme Court, I think Tinubu won't be the president of Nigeria, because assuming we got to find a court that can stand with the Nigerian people, you will get to know that Tinubu is not even supposed to be the president of Nigeria, because we know he didn't win the election. He forced himself even before the courts finally gave their decision. He wanted that inauguration to happen. Anyway, the Constitution allows it, except if we go for an amendment this time. And we just hope that that will happen. The pending Supreme Court suit with the number stated above has Chief A.A. Owuru and Hope Democratic Party as appellants, while respondents are former President Muhammadu Buhari, who is no more the president of Nigeria, INEC, and Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So these are the people this person is taking to the Supreme Court again to revisit this case of the election. Do you think anything reasonable is going to come out from this? Do you think this is even what people going to court again? Like Dino Melaye has said, he will not go to the court to go and challenge his loss. You know, he lost at the governorship election, but he said he's not going to any court to go and start fighting for him regaining any mandate, because he knows that the judges there will never rule in his own favor. They want to stand with the ruling party. So do you think this decision of Mr. Owuru is right, taking Tinubu now to court again, to the Supreme Court again, to revisit this case of the election that has long been concluded? Let me know your thought, because I felt, okay, this might equally result to something strange. Nobody knows, you know, looking at the way this Nigeria is going now and the economy and all that, that is what we are seeing. So there are other headlines I want us to cover. Honestly, so many things have been going wrong in the country. I have a video that I want us to react to. But before that, you know, considering the level of things, odd things happening in the nation today, this reverend is asking Nigerians to fast and pray for God's intervention in Nigeria's affairs, because this government, you don't wait for this government to rescue you, to save you, to provide jobs for you and all that. This government is not even ready. This is them sending, distributing relief material to IDPs in Benue, while our president took 1,400 plus persons to the Dubai. Look at how Nigerians are living. Can you imagine? This is a picture of the situation of Nigerians, real Nigerians who are suffering today, you know, because they were born in this country called Nigeria. It is not a crime to be Nigerian, but you can see from the look of things that, you know, some people might even be regretting why they were born into such a country. This is one of the IDP camps in Benue State. See how, even looking at it, though this picture is a bit blurred, but if you can critically look at it, you can imagine the situation of people in Nigeria today. That is it for you. And we have the students who are also protesting. We know that school fees across the nation has been increased, as in they've increased school fees, meaning that students are just the ones to be sweating to pay, parents paying through their nose. But our government only knows how to spend. You know, they've been so much outreach about Tinubu and the number of people he took to Dubai and how much they'll be spending for their hotel. I didn't even know that these people are being paid. You know, if you are on a trip as a government official, there is money you receive every day for being outside. You know, that is like an official trip for the government. So you are meant to be paid. The government pays you for being on a mission outside the country on the behalf of the country. So, and you can imagine, Tinubu packed all this number of persons. So at the end of the day, they are going to be paid. They have 13 days to spend in the UAE. And when they come back, they will be receiving this money. I saw it somewhere. Some of them will be receiving like $2,000, $2,000 per day. I mean, one day, some of them $900 per day, $900 per day. So you can imagine, calculate it for 13 days. That is what Tinubu packed population of people to the UAE. Does this government even understand the suffering of the Nigerian people? Do they even know that people are groaning, that people are suffering? I don't even know. So look at this. Federal government disburses 150 billion loan to business owners. How much is this? How many people are going to get this money? This is just, how much is this? This is just like the money that the National Assembly wants to use to buy their cars. How many businesses are going to participate in it? Anyway, sometimes they just bring out these headlines. These people will later come out to tell us that they didn't get any money. That is the nation we are living in. They are not telling us the money they said they are making from the fuel subsidy they removed. What and what are they using that money for? So guys, this headline is very touching. It's very touching. In southern Kaduna, the people were there. I think they had like there was a celebration going on, and the army mistakenly drop their boza on them, and go and see how many persons. This is the official number they are giving now. But you know, in Nigeria now, when you see this official number, you may want to times it by 2 or 3 because they will hardly tell you the truth. So this is the situation of things in Nigeria. Tell me, how can the army make this kind of mistake? People that were just busy enjoying themselves, just like what we saw in Israel recently, while they were having a festival, and all of a sudden the enemy came in their midst and tried to destroy their lives. That is what you are seeing currently in Nigeria. Honestly, I don't know this kind of carelessness where else it could happen in the world, if not a place like Nigeria. You can imagine so many people, are no more existing, because of these incidents. People lost their lives because we have a set of human beings who are so careless. How is it that they just saw a group of persons? They might want to tell you that they thought they were the bad people. Well, how is it that they were not able to differentiate between the civilians and the bad ones? And they ended up dropping their boza on these people, just, sending how many persons away from this planet Earth. That is where we are as a country. So many things happening. See, this is Arise News carrying the same news. Army accidentally drops their this thing in Kaduna village, on Kaduna villagers. That is it, my people. We don't know the kind of leadership we have on ground. If that is what is affecting almost all the parastatals, we don't know. So the president of Nigeria, Tinubu, was supposed to speak, during this climate conference. There was a particular section that was apportioned to Nigeria for him to make a presentation, but he was not available. He was not available, although he later spoke, and people have complained about the incoherency of his speech, that you could not even get anything from what he said. So for me, I feel he's one of those people who have this stage fright and all that. He does not really like standing in front of large audience. We saw that during the campaign. I think in one of the northern states where he went, he couldn't speak, and then his spokesperson came out to say he do have a kind of fright stage. How do they even call it? As in when one is not able to face a crowd and all that. I know there are people who have that, I call it a deficiency. So there are people with that. Possibly he's one of them. So he wasn't there to take this advantage to address the people he was supposed to address. So later we heard that, okay, that he had a meeting with another person. And if you ask them now, they will say they went to look for investors. That's always the language for Nigerians that they give to Nigerians, that they went to look for investors. We are yet to see the investors. We were being told the other day on Arise Television, one man came and was saying that many foreign investors are leaving the country in their droves, as in they are leaving because of the current situation, the current reality in Nigeria today. Many people are leaving. And this government is not even considering all that. They are not. So he was not able to speak during the particular time. There was an exact time that was given to Nigerians, but he was not there. Though he later spoke just for a few minutes, which Nigerians have come out to shout and say, wow, we could not even understand one thing from anything he said. There was just this up and down in his speech. So you can see also that the Nigerian doctors are leaving Nigeria. Where are they going to? To Gambia, to Sierra Leone. Nigerians, you should put your hands on your head and begin to shout that Nigerian doctors are going to Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone now is one Obodoyibo, in case you don't know. Sierra Leone is now one Obodoyibo. They are also going to Rwanda to get $4K as salary. Why not? Why not? Who want to spend 6-7 years in the university as a medical doctor? You come out, you go for your housemanship and all that, you use service, and then when you get job in Nigeria, they'll be playing with your life. They will tell you that you don't even matter. That was what Ngige told us, that if they are going, let them go, that it does not make sense. And today, so many wards in the hospital are being closed down because they have insufficient staff to attend to patients. So there was a time I raised this topic about some Nigerians who left Akwa Ibom State going to Sokoto for youth service. They were kidnapped up to today. Nigerians up to today, these people have not been released. I'm just feeling for the females among them. There are about 6 of them who were kidnapped. So I just wonder if at all they are even alive. Have they been sold out? You know, all these bad boys in the bush, what they can do, especially those of them from the north. They believe in selling people, you know, as I don't know how they trade people's lives, and you know, all kinds of things. Or you don't even want to think about if they've been harassed and all that, especially the females among them. So there are about six of them. Up to today, they've not been released. Their parents have been, you can just imagine the state of their parents. And nobody is there to listen to them when you talk about the government. Nobody is close to these people. They've just been lamenting. There was a he called, I think, a father to one of them, and he was just lamenting that the government is not even reaching out to them. So, Nigerians, I don't know who and who we could share this story with that can help to tell the government that it is not, it wasn't a wrong decision to go to Sokoto and be a copper there. These people wanted to just follow the constitution that has brought about this youth service of a thing. They wanted to go there to serve their country, only for them to be kidnapped on the way. And up to today, they've not been released. This happened months ago. Until today, no information about them. Nobody knows if they are still alive or not. That's the reality of being a Nigerian. So I initially talked about the medical sector in Nigeria. Look at this. Nigerian University, OAU nursing students lament increment of tuition from 250k naira to 800 800. No, this is almost 1 million. This is almost 1 million Nigerians. This is where we are as a country. The government is sucking the blood of the people and using it to grow fat. You know, they will just come like mosquito, sip from your veins, and then they themselves, they will be bloating, growing fat. That is what we have today in Nigeria. Like you've seen them going to the UAE, some of them are there to do their Christmas shopping. They saw it as an open window to travel, because once you say you are going under the umbrella of this climate conference, you'll be given visa easily. Not to talk of when you are, you know, you are being, as in, you are going with the presidency. Then that is automatic. Easy way for you to be out of the country. So they've just been there. They've gone there. At the end of the day, Nigeria is going to pay them for their presence there during this conference. And look at, Nigerians are lamenting over increment in school fees. All over, it's like all over the country, they've increased school fees. So Peter Obi has equally said something about all these things that has been happening since yesterday and day before yesterday. He said Tinubu government allocates money that can pay 3,000 professors annual salary to renovate president's residence. That's Peter Obi. Yes, they don't think in that direction. We have professors who can't, when you see their t-shirts, some of them are already having worn out. They've seriously worn out, you know. That's the kind of professors we have in Nigeria. When you enter their offices, it's like nobody has existed in that office for a long time. Because where do they even have the money to take care of themselves, their families, and then do other things to themselves? Nobody is talking about that. When you come to education in Nigeria, I don't know. I don't know. For me, I don't know. When I look at this Tinubu's government, I was thinking, if he's sensible enough, for me, I'm thinking like, okay, the people rejected you. INEC gave you this mandate. The Supreme Court helped you to uphold the mandate INEC gave you. You came in, you don't even see any need for you to start attending to issues. At least there's a way he will start addressing issues. People will say, okay, maybe he's going to work. We know he stole it, but at least he's doing something. But you don't see that. You only see them spending. Since this government came to place, they've just been going for borrowing and spending. We've just been revolving around these two topics: borrowing, spending, borrowing, spending. The National Assembly says they want cars made outside, and we know how much we've been talking about that. From there, we moved about their Christmas packages, how much they are taking home, those of them in the National Assembly. And then the president's house in Abuja will be renovated. The vice president's house in Lagos will be worked on. Then Wike has promised to use 15 billion to finish up the vice president residence in Abuja. Then we have the Aso Rock residence that was even being renovated before the inauguration. Nigerians, it has just been spending. And don't forget that Tinubu came and presented an empty budget on the floor of the Senate. People have been lamenting because he could not really state out how he wants to, like, what is in the budget and how they want to, follow the budget come next year. He didn't bring anything. He did not later inform Nigerians that he has everything in a flash drive. Is it in or on a flash drive? A flash drive that it was given to one of the members of the National Assembly. Strange things will not end in Nigeria. So that's the kind of leadership we have today. Obi Slam's extravagant budget allocation reviews shocking 20.5 billion for vice president's residence. That is the same thing that we are talking about. When they borrow the money, they will tell us they used it for so and so. So this is coming from Germany. So Germany, they are equally struggling with their budget. They have crisis around their budget. And for that reason, the vice chancellor cannot come for this climate meeting that is holding in the UAE. He has cancelled it because the Igbo people said, if your house is on fire, you don't dare start pursuing rats. That is it. Nigeria, our house is on fire, and we have our leaders who are pursuing rats. Tell me what this president, with all the people he went there with, what are they there for? To eat, Nigerians will pay. The hotel bills, Nigerians will pay. And then they have to be paid every day. Your presence in the UAE has to be paid for by the government of Nigeria. Honestly, we have a very insensitive government. We can't just wait to retire these politicians. This is coming from Kaduna State. The government there is also decrying the security situation of the state. You can see him talking about the bad boys. They've taken over many schools. You can imagine many schools. Just tell me, the students who are meant to be going to school in those schools won't be going to school again because these people have taken over. And at the end of the day, now they will tell us, oh, the North has millions of out of school children. Why won't they? Why won't it be like that when we have all these cases of, these bad boys just disrupting the peace of the people? And this government has not even done anything that is outstanding when it comes to security. We've not seen any drastic move by this current administration. And I don't know when they are going to do it. By the time you know it now, 1 year is gone. We are talking about 2 years. Just after 2 years, governance have started reducing because they will start thinking about next election. And now 1 year is almost going. This government has not even taken any step in alleviating the suffering of the Nigerian people. So you can see it. There is nothing working in this country. So let me show you guys this video that Arise News tried to analyze what actually happened. All the let me call it speculation and all the controversy around this Dubai troop of a thing. So Ojope spoke on that, and let me just allow you listen to their own view. You might pick one or two things from there.
1,400 delegates, making it the country with the third highest overall in number of delegates at the conference. Well, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who last year criticized the proposed emission cuts for Nigeria during the elections, was accompanied by 138 delegates from the State House, including Nigerian Lebanese billionaire businessman Gilbert Shagori, who was named as a confidant of the president, elicited more reactions. Let's take a look at this video showing the moment Tinubu arrived at the conference before we take some reactions. You guys spoke with earlier, and it has elicited a lot of reactions. Let's take this one from Peter Obi, who wrote, "In a twist of sad irony, let me congratulate the giant of Africa, Nigeria, for matching the great China with the same number of contingents at the ongoing COP28 in Dubai. Nigeria's contingent to COP28 totaled 1,411, the same number as the Chinese contingents, while China's budget for 2024 is about $4 trillion. That's about $2,860 per head. Nigeria's budget is about $33 billion. That's about $165 per head. China has a Human Development Index with a ranking of 79 out of 191 countries measured. And Nigeria has a low HDI with a ranking of 163 out of 191 countries measured. Nigeria has more people living in multi-dimensional poverty than China, despite China having 7 times our population. Well, let me take another one from Brother Bath. He wrote, in August 2023, Ajuri Ngelale informed Nigerians that Tinubu has instructed the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to freeze the processing of visas for government officials who have no business at UNGA in New York, in line with his broader efforts to cut the cost of governance. In December, Ajuri Ngelale is seen among the crowd of officials that accompanied Tinubu to Dubai at COP28. COP28 is a 13-day event that will cost a lot more money in hotel accommodation than UNGA. It'll be nice for Nigerians to know how much is spent in sponsoring Tinubu and all that accompanied him at COP28. Tinubu and 2 ministers would have been more than enough for this trip in view of the current economic reality in the country. This just has to stop. I mean, this is the rhetoric everywhere, Rufai. I believe even last year at COP27, Nigeria had a small delegation rather. I think it was about 5 of them. If we have that picture up, we had the Minister of, I think it was Humanitarian Affairs and a bunch of others. There it is. About 5 of them. And can you imagine? The number has doubled. If we can pull up a list of the ministers that were out there, we have Federal Ministry of Environment at 53, Ministry of Foreign Affairs 21, Ministry of Environment at 16, Ministry of Petroleum Resources at 12, Ministry of Environment and Climate Change at 9, Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources at 8, Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs at 8, Federal Ministry of Transportation at 7, Federal Ministry of Finance 7, Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs 6, Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment 6, Federal Ministry of Power. The list goes on, Rufai. But what got me also was the fact that the actual list, which had, maybe the actual climate activists, if we have that, was a lot smaller.
I mean, what do you expect? So it's clear and simple, it's a jamboree. And the part that I just only fault them for, I keep saying, is the fact that they didn't pick Ashwebi. Yeah, because this is a Nigerian party in Dubai.
Okay.
And I'm sure probably a lot of them wanted to go again because, since it's now harder to get into Dubai, and this was what the government first said initially they will have fixed with relationship and, interaction with Dubai. Nigerians in Dubai that have jobs are finding it very difficult. Some are coming back home because that problem has not been fixed. So maybe Nigerians that couldn't get into Dubai, they were like, oh, free party in Dubai. Yeah, okay, let's go. We just go on delegation. Boom. And they can't deny them visa because this is COP anyway. Audrey, what should also shock you, and that's why I was making a case for Anko and Ashwebi. That's the only part that's missing all of this. What should also shock you is the amount of money that we are now expending to the UAE economy. If the flight tickets alone cost close to $1 billion, how about hotel accommodation and ESTA code fees? So I subscribe to Bat, what he said. I ESTA code of everybody and individual that went on this trip. And that's public accountability. And people should be able to trigger FOI for that. If possible, let's even start by writing FOI to demand how much government spent on that trip, so we know for ourselves. Because even in New York, somebody cited, I heard that was how we had a lot of Nigerians too in New York. It's the sad reality of how wasteful people are. Vis-a-vis the economic situation. I'm happy Peter Obi talked about China. China, that is even one of the biggest emitters. China is a whole lot better. China has brought a lot more people out of poverty. China has grown since they joined WTO in 2001. You can see where the Chinese economy is today. You can see the Chinese budget. But we're at an all-time low. But what do we spend the money on? Frivolous. We just spend on frivolities. Just like we did only last week when we wanted to spend 15 billion to build a new house for the VP. A country like Canada that does well economically, 24 Success Street, I keep telling that story. They've not renovated in a while the official home of the Prime Minister, because no Prime Minister there does it, because they fear the people. It's also obvious that these are leaders don't even fear the people. Daniel Bwala I think he put out something on Twitter recently where he was giving the breakdown of how much government officials collecting ESTA code. I will want government to come out and react to that breakdown. If it's true, and it's for 13 days, then they must give us the breakdown of how much they spent on this. We can't be, but they are going there to do jamboree. They are going there to do item 7.
Yeah.
They are going there to show off.
Well, let's see the list of other delegates. If we can pull that out. I mean, like I said, it was 138 that was from the State House. Well, Ayo, I wanted to touch more on the people that were there. Like I said, it's about 138 that were from the State House. Yeah. But more than that, over 500 were underneath the federal ministries and, the Nigerian government, which is what Rufai is trying to say. We need to find out how much money was spent on the. I mean, this is not the first time we're hearing this. Even in Ghana, our neighbor registered about 618 delegates from COP28. The figure ranked as the 5th highest in Africa.
So guys, they want Tinubu to come and tell Nigerians how much they spent during this occasion. Do you think it's possible? Would they be transparent enough to come and start telling Nigerians this is what we spent? Like I told you guys, okay, Bwala tried to tell us how much each of these officials is going to be making every day. And they have 13 days to spend in the UAE, 13 good days. Nigerians are groaning. People are dying in hunger. This government doesn't care. We have a government that is so insensitive. That is just because they got to office from the back door. Had it been they met with Nigerians, spoke with Nigerians, they came out and debated, they visited people, they discussed with people during election. Had it been they campaigned rightfully, they will know how to engage Nigerians. But from the look of things, you see that these people, they don't mean well for you and I. They are just there for their own belly, to satisfy themselves. Look at the president. Upon the wife told us that they have enough money to take care of themselves. But the way they are treating Nigerians, it is a no-go area. I mean, the way these people are treating us, they just want to get the money, spend it, squander it, Nigerians will pay. Oh my God, I feel for my country, Sha. I really
Africa behind Nigeria, Morocco, Kenya, and Tanzania. The list comprises of 95 persons on the official parties list, including Ghana's President Nana Akufo-Addo, and 523 on the party overflow list. This figure is almost double the delegation Ghana sent to COP27 in Egypt, which had about 350.
Very well, in terms of the fact that it's just a lack of fear for the people. The fact that they can't do what they want to without a lot of backlash, especially from the people, or a lot of consequences. Now let's go to the Nigerian delegates and delegation.